Hey y'all, welcome back to the ranch. I'm Jared Paul, and today is one of my favorite days of the year. It's when I get to take all of my trees that have been overwintering, either the cold hardy outside trees or the less cold hardy trees that were down in the basement. I get to display them out on the benches that I put in last year and the railings along the deck. It's always a goal to have a well organized layout where everything can have its own space and be appreciated. And always every year towards the end of the season, things are grown out and cluttered, and it's a mess. So that is going to be the mission of the day. This is going to be my best year yet. I have some shelving I think I need to put up so that I could really give everything its own space. Hey, Carl. Carl's cock-a-doodle doing again because spring is here. So without further ado, that's what's coming up on today's episode of Jarhead Bonsai. All right, so I'll utilize that railing, bench, railings, and these are the basement trees. They've just come out this week. Had them in a little bit of a greenhouse. Actually had to throw a sheet over them one night because they got down below 30 degrees Fahrenheit, but I think they are all primed to be budding out. Really exciting. See some more benching, and I just put these pavers on top of it because the wind gets up underneath it when there's no trees on them, and they'll flip the bricks and everything else. All right, Carl, we hear you, buddy. So got those trees. These are some new shelves that I took out of the garage. They're nice and wide. I might need to drill some holes in them for drainage, but they have some sturdy L brackets as well. Millie, you stay inside, baby. Go back. Okay, don't listen to me and stand there and look at me. Good girl. So I don't know where I'm going to put them yet, but I'll probably be putting those somewhere. And then I have this area here. I want it to, be like you come up or guests come, and it's a nice little bonsai tour. Walking around to the deck where I've got the grill, and it can be appreciated by all for summer. So down here, if you've been watching, is where I overwintered my cold hardier trees, and I really think I was successful this year. I built up about a 6-inch layer of bark mulch underneath the pots to protect the roots, and then I surrounded the pots with more bark mulch and just kind of backfilled it. So yeah, plenty of trees to work with today. These are my Rose of Sharon, which probably in a week, maybe less, I'll be pruning for cuttings. Going to try to grow, I don't know, I'd say at least 500 from cuttings. I have 6 of these trees on the property, so I'll have plenty of cuttings. And I would really love to just add that species to the tree farm in a nice hardy way and get them on their way to growing. Here's my Fraser fir. I use that annoying word quintessential, but I've grown it to be like the most perfect quintessential Christmas tree ever. So it's been 2 years since it got a hard prune. Last year I just took the apex down because there were like three-foot shoots coming straight up. And it just looked way terrible. So anyways, you could see it definitely can use a hard pruning to get back in shape. So that'll be a fun job. And along with my 2 broken treadmills that I had to drag down the driveway yesterday, those little wheels on them are not made for a dirt driveway. It was a good workout. But anyways, I dragged these 2 apple trees out from the back. They've been in these pots for the past 4 years. And last year they didn't do so well. So I'm thinking that the roots could use some room to grow. So I have a nice big tub that I'm planning on planting them both into. So that's coming up. So yeah, I'm going to get busy on this, and then I'll give you an update as I get going. All right, so I'm like 3 hours in, haven't done one thing with the trees setting up because there's just so much stuff to do on the ranch. I keep getting sidetracked. I did find that my juniper that I planned on putting into a literati pot. No, not literati. Fully cascading pot, the tall skinny ones. Doing a repot on it. This thing had a few more branches, but clearly the snow took them out. So that seems to be the only one that was damaged this winter. Not too bad. But might as well show you what I did, tell you what my plans are. So trees are looking good. Looks like they all survived out here. These Japanese black pines, getting way tall for their pots. I'm gonna have fun with them this year. Yep, everything's looking good. So I moved the apple trees down here, and I'm not gonna put them in that tub. I found some various seeds inside, tree seeds that I never planted from a few years ago, so I'm actually going to put those in this tub and see if I can't get them to naturally germinate outside. It's like Russian olive, some sort of white flowering tree, and Connecticut red maples, so I'll toss those in there. These apple trees, which I'm never going to let even get as tall as I am, so they're not quite bonsais, but they're shorter, so I guess 5 feet, the actual tree itself, plus 1 foot of pot, so 6 feet total there. I'm going to put them in these deeper, larger pots, and I think that the soil's too dense and it's not draining well, so I started it out with some of this 2-year-old decomposing bark mulch, and then I have some extra bark mulch and soil over here, which is very dense, which clued me. And it's organic, it's rich, it's dark, it's just very dense. So we'll lighten it up with the bark mulch, do a little mixture in here, toss our seeds in there, get these apple trees into these pots, check out the roots, lighten up the soil, and then I'll probably do a specific video pruning them back. I really haven't pruned them because the past couple of years they haven't done anything. But I think that'll look cool. A couple of flowering apple trees, hopefully getting apples outside of a little baby seedling tray. I made sure that I had enough pallets to complete the distance that I needed, and I absolutely do. So I'm makeshifting a little garden here. I'll take a few boards off the top of each pallet so it's shorter, maybe 3 feet high, and then I'll fill in the holes with those, covering them up. So 3 feet high, fill in the gaps so soil isn't falling out, and then I'll utilize this in some way as the back part. That was the door to the second chicken coop. And I even have my cardboard that I'm going to use as a weed barrier down here. So I'm going to let all these weeds just stay there. They're actually wildflowers and weeds. I'll get it framed in, then I'll put my cardboard down and then my bark mulch, and I'm going to get peat moss and topsoil delivered, about 10 yards, one big delivery. I am delaying calling because I don't even want to know what the delivery charge is on top of the cost of the actual materials, but it is what it is. I need it, so that's coming. Our white spruces are looking good. There's 50 in here, and there's a couple of oaks and maples mixed in, and another 325 over in there. But you've seen one, you've seen them all. They're going on their 3rd year. Picea glaucas, white spruce. So yeah, I removed some just terrible pots that had some wildflowers in them from around this dog fenced area, which of course Millie right away was like, oh, that means I could somehow dig my way out. So I'm going to use these 2x4s and reinforce the bottom, because her and Bruce Lee are like Houdini 1 and 2. They can get out of anything. And yeah, lots of planning, no progress is what it is. But I still have to work out, and I'm exhausted, so I'm going to call it quits for today. And I guess we'll do the update another day when all the pots are out, and that's when we'll transplant these apple trees. So, not the most exciting video in the world, y'all, but if you've been following along and tracked what I did to winterize my trees, now it's spring, and, you know, when you have a 5-acre ranch, there's lots to do when it's only you, and the only machinery I have are my arms and legs. So, I'm not complaining. It's a lot of fun. But sometimes it looks like you don't get anything done. And I know that's exactly what Laura's going to say to me when I get inside. So, what did you do today? So anyways, I'm Jared Paul from the ranch, and if you haven't liked and subscribed, there's plenty more to come, especially now this spring, so please do so. And leave your comments, questions below. So from my family to yours, have a great St. Patty's Day, and cheers.